The main arena. What if the placing of stadiums and large arenas was significant? I have mulled over the idea of these things being an enhancer of energy, potentially like the concept of a machine type thing I mentioned in my article, The Great Divide, amplifying and feeding off what gets generated. But what if the energy amplifier was already in place? Sort of War of the Worlds style idea of the machines already being there, buried and hidden. And let's say those sites were located, known about and built upon. There is another post to come about something similar, but from a different angle. But for this one, I wondered about known myths and stories about land being special, energised or cursed. Indian burial grounds spring to mind here, and ley lines, as well as the Crystal Cave in Mexico again. It's possible that the stadium itself is what creates the energy, but could also be its placing geographically. And there are others that I think of as well, where thousands of people are encouraged to gather to focus on one subject, activity, or person. Music festivals and concerts have also been noted, especially after a certain gig in Texas, I think it was, where many were injured and some died. It just so happens to have had imagery of a rather demonic nature, as do many these days. Glastonbury with its very important pyramid stage is relevant, I'm sure. And we have been exposed to some rather bizarre opening ceremonies in recent decades for sports, buildings, tunnels, and anything that needs a ritual. It's only recently people are starting to look at what they really represent, and so far, it's looking pretty weird. Check out some if you don't know what I mean. They're odd choreographed pieces which seem out of place for what they are opening. So, is it an event they are opening, or something else? They say words are spells, and dancing and rituals appears a theme. So is it unreasonable to question their true purpose? All sorts of ceremonies are paraded for the masses to watch. Awards recently following the same suit. Entertainment and ritual. They seem to go hand in hand, and perhaps are one in the same. A hypnotising form of energy harvesting laid out in different formats to try and get everyone's attention in some way. Cheering and clapping, bright lights and lots of glitz. Well, that's how it used to be. They seem to have replaced the glitz with gore and apocalypse, and many just cheered and clapped harder, as if the movie stepped out of the screen and enveloped real life, like in The Ring. You know, the bit where she climbed out of the well and out of the television. It feels like that. As if they have also worked out how to reverse the energy process and can feed back to you what they want as well, creeping into people's thoughts, emotions and fears once they have drained you of you. Which is why I believe it's a repeated thing from many people about how we should all stop watching television, including from ones whose careers were based around being on screen. And my article, Turning Off the TV, goes into that a little more as well. But for locations and their purpose, it shall remain to be seen if they are of extra significance in the bigger scheme of things. Having been with us for thousands of years, stadiums and event sites appear to be a repeating thing, as with much. Remnants of which are still all around us today. Not so sure our modern structures will last as long, but perhaps they just replaced previous ones, or were chosen as new ones for a reason. And behind all that, they could of course just be for entertainment, and located where is simply the most practical and affordable, and there is really nothing to see if you look into it. But as with much these days, I can't help thinking there might just be something there.